Are you a workaholic or are you a high performer? This past weekend, John Sampietro, who heads up the marketing efforts for me and has done a great job, and I had a VIP mastermind weekend event, which was a full day on Friday and Saturday. And one of the things that John went through was just that. Are you a workaholic or are you a high performer? And there sure is a difference. So I wanted to share some of the points from that, and then give you some hopefully good direction on how you can end up in the high performer category as opposed to the workaholic. So the real question is, are you doing business or are you being busy? A high performer's number one goal is to do business, to get results. A workaholic's number one goal is to fill any space with work. They just want to be busy, regardless of the return on investment, and that investment is their time. Enough is enough or never enough. High performers seek more in the areas that matter, but they know what is enough in the areas that don't matter so much, and they often delegate those areas to someone else. Workaholics are always focused on more and seeking to maximize everything because they really don't know what success means to them. 100% effort at the right time, or 100% and 10%, actually 110% all the time. It's not too much of 110% actually. But high performers have no illusion of 110%. They make sure their 100% is at maximum capacity. They know their value and letting others dictate it. High performers can work with a sense of freedom because they know their self-worth. Workaholics focus on external validation to understand how well they're doing. They're always asking, how did I do? How did I do? Did I do enough? Workaholic versus high performer. Proactive or reactive. High performers design their day anchored to the most important things, and I would say the most important things first. Workaholics let other people or things dictate their day. Control or control issues. High performers focus on the things they can control, and workaholics waste a lot of time and energy focusing on the things they cannot control. Don't spend time on things you can't change. Boy, is that a great lesson I learned from Dan Pena. Spend time on things where your effort can change the outcome. And if you're not working your to-do list, you are certainly working someone else's. And that brings you to, again, the difference in workaholic versus high performance, prioritizing yourself or prioritizing others. High performers know that putting themselves first allows them to serve others at a higher level. For workaholics, prioritizing others may seem selfless, but it's really not. By constantly giving more than they have, they end up depleted. The number one goal is to fill any space with work, regardless of the ROI. Again, think about if you are not working your to-do list and your highest priorities, you're working somebody else's to-do list, and that does not work very well. So I would encourage you to use the tools we've talked about. Use the Ivy Lee method. Every night, write down the 6 things or 3 things that will move the needle the most. Put a time when you're going to do it next to it, and then work that the next day and work it hard. Stay away from emails first thing. It's amazing how you can fall into a trap of looking at emails and an hour or two can go by. And guess what? When you're working those emails, you're working somebody else's to-do list. So I would ask you to do an exercise. And this is one we did in this group this weekend. Write down your vision of what December 31st, 2021 looks like, what your business looks like, what you've accomplished, what the size of your organization is, what the revenue is, etc. Then write down the things you're going to do in the next 30 days to move you towards that goal. And then take that 30-day goal and break it down into the things you have to do daily to get that 30-day goal done, which will lead to your vision of December 31st, 2021. So those are really, I think, important steps. I want to thank John again for his work this past weekend with this VIP group. And if you don't know the steps, just go to brucewhipple.com /deep dive bootcamp. That's the best I can give you in terms of that. But if you focus on what things are going to look like, what you can do in the near term, and then you work that list every day, the chances are that you will be more rather than less successful. Okay, so if you've got any ideas for future podcasts, I'd love to hear those. You just go ahead and email me at bruce@brucewhipple.com. And if you go over to brucewhipple.com, go ahead and grab the free class. It's brucewhipple.com/free class. I look forward to hearing from you. And remember, this is QLA's time. There is a lot of free information you can use to acquire already profitable businesses. This is Bruce Whipple. Thanks for listening to the Business Acquisition Podcast. And remember, you miss 100% of the opportunities you fail to take. And procrastination truly is the thief of time. So do something today, please. Your future self will be proud of.